All right, guys, picking off from where we left off last episode, we were in this scene where Mel Gibson had just seen the alien leg out of the corridor in the cornfield, and he's walking freaked the fuck out back into the living room.
He enters the house, he's shaken, sits down, the kids are washing dishes, but they're playing because they're being kids.
Which they're not going to clean the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Merle is over here reading some pamphlet from the army.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's still trying to join that.
Yeah, he's trying to fucking do something with his life.
He's
trying to do something else with his life.
Trying to recruit himself because the recruiter wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, the recruiter was talking about fucking licking toes and shit.
Yeah. That's true. We didn't mention it.
We didn't mention that, but the recruiter was...
But he was a little weird.
Yeah, he was a little weird talking about Merle being a pro and how he should be out in some beach somewhere getting his toes licked by beautiful women.
Yeah.
Quote, end quote.
The dream, apparently.
The dream for that man.
For M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, dude. M. Night
Shyamalan
was projecting some of his fucking dreams out there, man. It's like, shit.
Okay, getting back to it, the kids and Joaquin Phoenix, they stop and they notice that something's wrong just by the
atmosphere, honestly.
Well, it's good. He's coming in. I'm sure he would tell the kids something about playing with the soap or whatever they were doing. And...
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
why are you looking at a pamphlet for the army? Are you gonna join, or I don't know?
Are you gonna abandon me?
Merle notices because the kids ask him, "Oh, hey, what's going on? What's wrong?" And then Joaquin Phoenix gets involved, and then they're all trying to console him and see what's going on.
And then they get close, and he just looks up, and he's like, "Okay, it's time to turn on the TV."
Yeah, it's time to get a little bit informed, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Get all this too much knowledge about the aliens everywhere. I mean, about the lights, right? Because right now the TV's on, and they talk about lights over in New Mexico and how there's a shit ton of them now. And Meryl talking about the nerds being correct, about all their fucking crazy conspiracy theories. And Morgan talks about how they should record all this.
Okay, so they decide to turn on the TV. They go to the other room. They turn on TV, like my brother said. The lights are everywhere. And they decide that they're going to record this. Morgan wants to record it, and he gets this cassette player, and Bo's like, no, that's my ballet recital. And he's like, he does this whole conversation about how he
dude, he does this whole speech, dude.
Yeah, dude, he's really
those McCulkin brothers, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. By the way, we've been saying McCulkin. I looked it up, and it's Culkin. It's Culkin, dude. It's Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, and we've been saying
whatever, dude. Whatever, dude. Fuck these Culkin brothers.
Okay.
It's M. Culkin. McCulkin.
Anyways, and he gets this cassette player that's Bo's, and she's like, no, that's my ballet recital. Props to the prop person in this movie, because Bo decorated super cute her little cassette with flowers and hearts and stuff. Yeah,
a bunch of stickers.
Yeah.
I wonder if they let her do that. Do you think that's something they're like, oh, here's a bunch of stickers, here's a little cassette?
No, that was a prop. That was a prop.
I'm pretty sure it was a prop, because she would have put it everywhere. As a little kid, I think I would have put it everywhere.
Yeah.
That's true. They were placed in very, like, the corners and shit like that. Yeah, because and sadly, Morgan, because they're like, oh, just get another tape. Like, because the adults are actually super intrigued by what the fuck is going on with the news, right? Like, they're like in shock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just get another tape. He gets another tape, and the son of a bitch gets the swimsuit special edition bullshit. Like, really?
That belongs to Joaquin Phoenix.
Because he says, oh, Merle, I'm using your tape.
And it was a fucking swimsuit edition, dude. Are you fucking kidding me?
A swimsuit special.
Motherfucker. He's too young. He doesn't understand these fucking Culkin brothers or McCulkin, whatever the hell their last name is.
Hey, but it's like Morgan said, this is a moment that's going to be remembered. And they got to be able to bring something to their kids.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure they can get another swimsuit special. But they can never get the news.
But this is pre-YouTube era. So now we know that all the clips would be on YouTube now.
Yeah, because for all you kids out there that don't know, it wasn't a DVD. It wasn't a cassette. It was a VHS. It was a VHS. Mm-hmm. Look it up if most of you don't know what the fuck VHS is.
I'm sure everyone that's watched this movie knows.
And if you don't, you should watch the movie and look up what a VHS is.
Okay, well, what the kid says, the fact that was so impactful, I guess, was that he was talking about how everything that's been written in science book is about to be rewritten because of what they just witnessed on this newscast, which is amazing, right? Which is fucking like holy shit, like that's pretty big. And the newscaster actually says that, and then
Morgan's
then
like, I told you.
yeah, Morgan's like, I told you, little fucking McCulkin, brother, or Culkin, whatever your last name
Culkin.
is.
It's Culkin.
And so time has progressed at this point. The kids are asleep, and it's just Joaquin
two
Phoenix's
brothers.
character Merle and Mel Gibson's character Graham.
Graham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just Graham and Merle just talking on the couch with each other, and they're having a really interesting conversation here. Merle's character brings up how there's gonna be people watching this, and they're gonna think it's the end of the world. And it might be.
Might as well, dude. This is aliens, man.
Yeah. And it's a matter of people's faith. They start talking about how they want to accept this right now. That they're splitting up everyone into two groups. Where we have group A, they see everything as there's no coincidence. There is a plan and there's a reason for everything happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they believe that there's a higher power watching out for
For
them.
everyone.
Yeah, just it's his plan, right? And then there's group B, where they see these lights in the sky and they see it very suspiciously. They're very cautious. They think it could either be good or it could either be really bad. But deep down, they feel that whatever happens, it's that they're on their own. There is no higher power to protect them or hurt them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely Group B. Just saying.
Yeah.
I think I'm Group A.
Carlos, you need to choose.
I don't have to choose. I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B for me. It's you gotta have faith at moments. I think as a human, you just gotta believe in something sometimes.
Okay.
Whether it makes things easier for you or not, it's up to you, I guess. But for me personally, I think there's certain things that it's easier to believe that there's a higher power, and there's some things like no, you're on your own.
Yeah. But what about this situation, dude? You're looking
fucking
at lights.
aliens?
Yeah, you're looking at fucking lights in the sky, man.
You see the aliens, and you have to believe in aliens. You believe in them at that point. You
I guess that could be like a higher power.
exactly.
Well, technically, yeah, it is because there's I mean, we have all these fucking writings and all these things about pyramids and all this bullshit and how they have seen things flying in the sky. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they have hieroglyphics of people of flying saucers, dude. They've actually seen hieroglyphics of fucking flying saucer.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
what we consider a fucking
And
I've
there's
seen,
people out there that still don't believe in these type of creatures.
I remember seeing hieroglyphic, or it might have been a carving or whatever. Of it's a man in a spacesuit.
dude. Exactly. Yeah, like either okay. I interpret this as two things. Now, time travel could have happened, and we have to wear some special type of bullshit ass suit
In order
to
to
travel
time
through
travel.
time. And they fucking appear in a place and they see you and they're like, oh my god, you're a fucking god. Just because they don't understand what the fuck is happening, you know? And we're like, oh shit, we time travel. That's so cool. Let's go back.
Or it's some
And then you
outside
just-
force.
Or it's some outside force. It's one of those other civilizations that are out there. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna put in a third option right here.
Here we go. I like that.
No, these ancient people, they started their first sci-fi.
Ah,
Yeah, they
shit,
were coming up with
dude.
stories, and they fucking figured out. They knew that we would have a suit for space.
Started
makes
writing
sense,
stories
dude.
back then.
It's a lot of sci-fi actually that predicts the new inventions. They predicted iPhones.
The Android, Star Trek.
Hmm.
They actually do that. They basically had the fucking what's the android's name? Oh my god. Data. There you go. Oh my god. Okay. Well, they have Data's a fucking robot. He's an android, right? And,
And
he
we're really
opens.
close to androids.
Yeah, he opens his stomach, and there's a phone inside.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he calls someone as whatever, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. You're done. Cool. Puts
You
it back
meant
in.
android as in the phone.
Yeah, android as in the phone. Thank you, Star Trek. Oh, you want to go back to the scene? You want to
I
go back
guess
to
we're
the scene?
getting
Get
back.
back-
into
get back
the
to
Yeah,
the
because
scene
we're
here.
blabbering, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
back to the scene. In the dark, dead of night, kids are asleep. We got Merle and we got Graham. At this point, after Graham explains that there's these two kinds of people, Merle asks him, like, okay, well, what kind of person are you? Do you see the signs? Do you see miracles? Or do you believe that people just get lucky? Oh, no. That's bad. It's actually Graham asking Merle.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Okay, so it's Graham
Yeah.
asking Merle, what kind of person are you?
And
Do you
then
believe
Meryl comes
the
up with
signs?
his story.
Yeah, do you believe in the signs or do you believe in the coincidences? And then Merle comes up with his story. It's like, okay, there's this time at a party where I was with this girl and we were on the couch, the hottest girl in the class or whatever.
Fine
and
piece of ass.
he remembers her name specifically. And she's looking beautiful and she's staring at me. And I lean in and I'm going to kiss her. But then I realize that there is a bit of gum in my mouth. And he's laughing while he's telling the story. So he turns around. He says he turns around and he takes out the gum. He puts in some paper cup or whatever. Then he turns back to the hot girl. And she had threw up on herself. She had vomited.
Damn.
She had projectile. No.
Get exorcism projectile vomit all over the place.
So
Look,
she made a mess over herself, and he can't help but think that
It was a miracle.
it was a miracle. Because if he would have kissed her at that moment,
yeah, because God was looking down like, oh shit, Meryl, hold on, you have gum in your mouth, turn around.
Honestly, yeah, because having gum in your mouth isn't a big deal. Like some people kiss and they swap fucking gums.
That's true.
yeah,
But
if
to
if
him,
wanted
like,
do
he was
that,
like,
he
no.
was like, no, I don't want to kiss
Yeah,
her. With
so-
I'm gonna tell Dad
miracle,
you're doing
miracle.
that, by the way. I'm gonna tell
Oh
Dad
my
that you're
God,
swapping
shut
gums with men out there. Jesus Christ.
But no, Meryl was like, oh no, I was saved because that would have scarred me for life. I would have never recovered from being puked in the mouth.
That's disgusting.
So he believes it was a miracle.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I believe it's a miracle right there. I would have fucking got on my knees and thanked God himself, dude, you know? There's no throw up in my mouth.
Sounds like you're joining us in Group A.
I mean, in that scenario, yes, I'm Group A. But in the scenario where I'm seeing a bunch of lights in the sky, which is the actual real scenario that this movie has put us in right now, I'm thinking I'm definitely in Group B, dude. Because then that really does rewrite not just what science, but what religion's been saying. Because at this point, religion's been like, oh no, there's God and there's this and that's it. You're
And we
just
were
mankind. We were
created.
created in His view. It's like, wait, what if these aliens were the ones that were actually created in God's image of Himself? You know what I mean? And these
Yeah.
aliens actually came down Earth and put us here, and we were created in their image.
Yeah.
So technically, that would be our God,
Alright.
quote unquote, air quotes.
I really like that theory of human evolution where
Yeah.
we had some sort of divine intervention at some point
Yeah.
by
And
aliens.
exactly, and that divine intervention could be interpreted in different ways. It could be extraterrestrial, or it
Yeah.
could be divine by God and all these angels and the hierarchies and all this stuff. But something like this, lights in the sky, I feel like that puts a lot of people out in doubt of what they've known throughout their lives.
For sure.
Or not their lives, but their beliefs, something like that.
For sure. I mean, I would think that we would see like suicides. We would see mass suicides, I'm sure, if there were
Dude,
some
yeah.
invasion going on.
That's fucking
That's
crazy.
very
That's-
true.
It's sad also.
Okay, let's get back into it. I like the way you described this next scene. How you
Well,
mentioned that Graham.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to get into it right here.
Perfect.
Because at this point, we know that Joaquin Phoenix's character, he's in Group A.
Religious.
And to be counter to that, we've got Graham here saying that
A man that lost his faith.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
he's a man that had lost his faith. He
Meryl's
has-
like, "What group are you in?" And he's like, "Are you comforted?" And Meryl's like, "Yes." And then he's like, "It doesn't matter then."
So Graham mentions like, "Oh, I never told you the last things that my wife told me before they let her die." And at this point in the movie, we don't know how the wife
Yeah,
has died.
we don't
Yeah.
know yet. You're correct.
We have a bit of a story, and we haven't seen it yet. And I really like the structure of this scene here, where we've got Mel Gibson's character facing his brother, and the only light in the room is coming off the TV, and it's shining off both of them. We've got half of their faces illuminated by this light here,
Yeah.
and you can see the lights in their eyes coming off the TV, or the light of the TV is coming off their eyes.
Right.
And as Graham's telling the story of what she said to them, you see the light go out in one of Graham's eyes, where it's just completely dark now, one side of his face. Now, to actually get into the story that he's presenting here, he's talking about how the last things that the wife said to him were to see and to tell the brother to swing away.
Yeah.
And he writes it off as the brain was just doing what it does while a person dies. It was just random information firing off at random points. And he thinks it was just replaying a memory for her of one of
Of a time together.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they were all together. And that's heartbreaking, right? So that's
It
the
really
moment where
is.
he lost his faith.
Yeah.
That's exactly what just happened. We had the Reverend tell us, like, you know what, this is where I lost my faith.
Basically.
That's fucked up.
And the juxtaposition with Merle's story of how he just hooked up with a girl at a party but didn't get throw up on him, right?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, like, this is, let me tell you a real fucking story. Like, that's what happened. That's what that was.
And there's nothing that Merle says to him after
What
that.
the fuck can you say to a story like that, dude? Like, you're over here laughing and joking around about making out with some drunk girl, and well, a reverend lost his wife, lost his faith, and he's telling you the story of how it happened. There's nothing really you could say, dude. Even saying an I'm sorry kind of seems fucking like,
Not right.
yeah,
I mean, you could say I'm here for him, but I mean, he is here for
He's-
him.
yeah.
That's the whole reason he moved over here.
yeah, exactly.
And so the scene cuts, and we get a flashback.
Yeah, cool. Well, right after that scene that they have talking about the groups and basically how this priest lost his faith, it actually gives us a glimpse. It gives us a little glimpse. It doesn't get too detailed, but it's basically it's Graham in the past. It obviously goes to the back because he has his uniform of a reverend, of course. Gets off the truck. You could see it in his face. He's concerned. He gets down, talks to the cop. It's Officer Parker, which we changed her name to Parker because that's easier. Yeah, you don't judge us, ladies and gentlemen. And he lets her know. It's like, okay, well, what do you know?
Like,
Like-
was it a drunk driving
He's
accident?
like, yeah, I heard it was a drunk driver. And he's like, okay, well, no. Like, someone fell asleep on the wheel. Basically, letting him know what happened. He's like, okay. And him being a reverend, like, this lets you know how much of a nice person he is. Like, okay, well, is he okay? Like, really, dude? Your wife is there, you know?
Yeah.
Your wife is involved in this accident. And you're worried about the other man. Like, it puts you in, it makes it very clear to you that this is a very good person. It's a very,
Yeah.
kind-hearted person. Fucking heart of gold right here.
And you get Parker responding, "Oh, that was the first thing Colleen asked too. He's fine."
Yeah. Which is it also what my brother just said that it shows. It just made me also like, damn, like both of them were just amazing people and this happened to them.
And he's like, "Oh, she's talking. Is she in the ambulance?" He's
What
like, "No."
what ambulance is she in? And
What
then,
ambulance is she in?
and
It's
she's
no,
like,
she's
no.
not in the ambulance.
And
Uh-huh.
then it cuts scene and like he wakes
Graham
up.
wakes up.
Which is what really bothers me the most is the fact that he's getting these flashbacks as he sleeps.
mm-hmm.
So are they really flashbacks or are we looking at his actual dreams?
Well, they're flashbacks for us because we're watching a movie.
They're-
Yeah,
but
they're-
they're a
but-
dream.
Yeah,
for
the
him.
way I
Like
see
that
it is
a
this
dream that
man's-
he sees every night for the past 6 months. It's been 6 months.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking. Cause dreams are fast, dude. Like for us, like in real, obviously, dreams are super quick. Like you wake up, you're having a dream, and then you go to sleep, you have a dream, and you wake up really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh shit, like that was it. Okay, I feel like we just got a glimpse of what maybe this is what it was left into the interpretation of the viewer, right? And this is how I perceive it. This man's actually dreaming of that accident every fucking night, dude.
Yeah.
And we just got a glimpse of a small dream that he had of it, and he woke up.
Yeah, it's never far away from his mind.
Dude,
right?
and he wakes up and he's like you can like obviously he doesn't do anything, but you can see in his face like again like
Yeah, props to this
I
acting,
have to,
honestly.
yeah, I have to relive my wife's death every day, every night.
He wakes up, and he's in a very comfortable looking fucking living room, may I add.
Yeah.
God damn.
No TV.
No TV, no nothing. It's literally a living room. Let's all
No,
go and live
nothing, but
there.
you see
They
cables.
They
Yeah.
pulled the TV away.
You see the cables on the floor, and it's like a
Oh, my
little
bad, yeah, you're
trail going somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about this scene. So it's the TV's being pulled into the cupboard, guys. Hey, we're in Harry Potter. We're in Harry Potter. We're in the Harry Potter universe here, guys.
Harry Potter's room.
Harry
Guys,
Potter's
it's basically
room.
a cupboard under the fucking stairs. For all you Harry Potter fans out there, if you didn't laugh, you can go fuck yourselves. Honestly.
For the non-Harry Potter fans, glad you guys are still with us.
All right, so Meryl over here brought the TV into Harry Potter's room because he wanted to protect the children. He didn't want them to see all this crazy shit that's happening.
Yeah,
Right?
they should be having tea parties, and they should be playing, and they should just so I brought it in here, and there's this news that they've been showing since 11. Like he's going
Yeah, like
fucking
he's the
crazy.
He's
Yeah.
ranting.
He's the one that's trying to. He's trying to avoid this from happening to the children, but it's happening to him.
Yeah.
Like he's fucking paranoid as shit already.
And he's going off about how they're gone, but they're not actually gone. He's talking about the ships
Yeah.
in the air, because the TV is just focused on where they were. And he goes off about that he believes it's an optical illusion, that they're still there because there was a clip that they kept on replaying over the
All
morning.
morning, you're right.
That a bird flies into something. There's nothing there, but it flies into something, falls straight out of the air. And that they have seen the bird now, and its head has been crushed in. It's like it flew into.
You know,
something.
I like the fact that they actually went to look for the bird, and like saw that the head was crushed in.
Dude, but how do you know that the bird's head was crushed in because it crashed into something up there, or it just went straight down on its head? You know what I mean? It's
Like they want
goddamn.
to believe that it was a ship.
Whatever narrative you want. To
I'm
believe
pretty
in.
sure they were
That's-
right. Like
that's
it
some of those
crashed
Group
into
B people.
something.
That's some of those Group B people freaking the fuck out. And so Graham just kind of listening to this, he kind of just blows it off. And he's like, okay, like this guy's fucking paranoid. And
Yeah.
He
leaves.
lets his brother keep ranting and just walks out of the
Yeah,
room.
and he's still talking, and he's like talking about the crop circles, how they think that it's gonna be like a map for them, and it's a type of navigation and stuff like that. But he's just honestly just talking to himself at this point.
The audience. At this
Yeah,
point.
to us,
Yeah.
but
He's letting us know. Dude.
But it's letting us know that he's a little unhinged right now.
He's breaking that fourth wall, man.
So Mel Gibson's character looks like he got a shower in, and he's walking out now. Looks
Fresh
pretty
as fuck.
dry. Pretty dry and fresh.
and then he looks outside. I'm guessing he was looking for his kids. Notice they're not there, and then he starts hearing like voices, and he goes and he enters the room, and his kids are in the room with
Tinfoil.
with tinfoil in their heads, and they're reading a book, and he's like and just sits next in between them.
It's a really silly looking helmets that they got. It's aluminum foil wrapped up, so it's pointed upwards. I'm not
Kind
sure
of
if
like a
that's
weird
gonna.
cone head kind of deal
Yeah.
going on.
I
So-
wonder why it has to be like in a cone head thing. Like, why not just cover the whole thing? Why does it have to be pointing up?
Right.
I think that was just like a thing to
Stylized.
make it actually silly,
Okay.
I guess.
right? Like
'Cause they're
because
kids.
yeah, because they're kids, dude. So they're like, okay, cool. Let's,
And
yeah, they have
Mel
little
Gibson-
antennas in their head now.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson's characters are like, what? And
Antennas
it's-
that aliens can use maybe as a signal
Oh,
instead of protecting your
aliens
head.
wrote the books, dude.
But so the kids tell Mel Gibson's character is like, oh, it's protect us from them reading our minds. 'Cause they could read our minds, Dad. I was like, oh, okay. And he just sits down with them, and they're just going off about what's going on in this book that they're reading.
Yeah. But the whole time, Mel Gibson has this whole, like, he has this tone of, like, making it funny or...
It's like
Sorry, yeah, it is. And the kids are like, oh, Dad, this is serious. Like, put your big boy pants on and listen to me. This is
Yeah.
important,
Yeah,
okay?
the aliens were just in the sky, Dad.
Yeah,
So-
hello.
So, the kids started talking about like, oh, okay, well, it says here in the book that the aliens are probably gonna not hurt us. They're probably vegetarian because they would see the benefits of the diet or whatever, right?
Okay, because they were talking about the what?
they're talking about what's in this book here, right? About how the aliens might not be here to hurt them, they might just be here to explore or whatever. But if they are here to hurt us, right? And there's some interesting photos that we get to see. Pictures. Pictures.
Yeah, they're pictures. They're like drawn. They're like little drawings, no?
Yeah, they're drawings, pictures.
Professionally done.
Well,
Some of them look like they're kids' drawings.
Okay, some of them do look like kids' drawings, but the main one, that we're gonna be talking about here, looks actually
like a very
detailed drawing.
yeah, a very
Yeah,
detailed drawing. Very good artist, by the way. Whoever
It was like
drew
a bit of
this,
painting
wow.
or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There you go.
Most of the pictures are just depictions of the aliens, right? And they just look like the regular Martians, right? The gray skin, big heads, black beady eyes.
Big black eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's this one here that they focused on for a while, where it is a spaceship over a house here. It looks like a farmhouse. It looks just like the character's house,
yeah.
and they even bring it up.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's
It
eerie.
looks like our house.
Fucking
And-
kids, man.
And I mean, at that point, it's like, okay, well, what a crazy coincidence, right?
Or a sign.
Part 2 of signs, Carlos. Coincidences.
And you can see these two rays of light coming out of the ship. It looks like the ship may be escaping, might be running away from this house. Or, in my interpretation, it could look like they are attacking this house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the way we saw it, my sister and I, we actually talked about it. We always thought for years, dude, that
Yeah.
oh no, it's because the house is on fire, the houses are fire, and the aliens are leaving.
The aliens are
Like, the
leaving.
aliens are
Like
leaving.
I
dude.
always thought that cuz at the bottom of the drawing there's a it looks like an adult and two kids just laying on the floor. So I thought that the aliens had killed these people and were taking off, like they did whatever they had to do, like they were done, like there was no need to
Yeah,
stay
they
there.
came, they killed, they
Yeah, but you're right. Like it does look like the alien ship might be shooting at the farmhouse,
And
which is
causing
why
fire.
the house is on fire.
Yeah, never saw it that way. And the camera kind of points out and zooms in over the three bodies, and then the camera looking at them three sitting down, like it kind of zooms in on them. They're like,
It's like they just noticed.
yeah, like it just hit them. Like, oh shit, like this could actually be our house. Like, really, like that's a big coincidence, right? But it's really hitting like home to them.
At this point, they're really into the picture that the phone starts ringing and they all jump.
Yeah, that Culkin acting right there. Son of a bitch.
Culkin.
Culkin.
Whatever, his name's McCulkin now.
McCulkin.
Letty, you want to describe this scene?
Yes. Okay. So the father answers the phone. Mel Gibson. I said father. Sorry. So yeah, he answers the phone and the person is like, "Father," and he says hello, and they hang up. At this point, he like turns to look at the phone and then he turns to the side and it's the camera's inside this room and it starts to pan out and you can see the doors kind of open and you can see the dress. I took it as this room belonged to the mother and he like his wife, and he realized the person that was calling was Ray, which is who killed his wife. I always took it like that.
And well, when we actually saw the movie again after, I guess just rewatching the movie, honestly, I saw it as like, you know what, there could be an alien in there, because they recently talked about the camouflaging in the past fucking scenes. And we know that aliens could camouflage, and there was wind on the dress, which means the window was open. Why the hell was the window open? And especially in that room. So the way I took it, that was actually the alien looking at him answer the phone, because remember they send out a recon team, dude. The extraterrestrials send recon teams everywhere to see what the hell's going on. Windows open. There's a crack on that door, which apparently there shouldn't be. I mean, I think there shouldn't be, especially in that
especially
room.
because he hasn't done
Gotten
any.
over it.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten over it either.
And I feel like it could also be that he's listening on the call, right? We already know that they use the radio waves to communicate.
That's
So
true.
they're probably perceptive of that.
Oh, maybe that's why Ray hanged up.
No, he hung
No,
up
he-
because he. I mean,
Okay,
he, said,
well that yeah,
he says
because
later because we.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, like the way I took that scene is that the alien was actually looking in, hearing this. It's like, okay, this is what's happening. Like, this is the info going on in this fucking house.
But the alien could have been made aware and started looking at the phone because it started ringing and started giving off all these signals.
Yeah. So after that the father goes downstairs to Harry Potter's room, and Meryl's still in there looking at the TV. And he's like, "Okay, I'm going out. I'm going to Ray's house."
Graham grabs the coat out of the closet.
Yeah. He's like, "Wait, why?" He's like, "I think he just called here," and he storms out of the house. Because I mean, at that point, you know for a fact that if he's calling, something has to be happening to him.
Yeah.
Either I don't know, maybe suicidal. I don't fucking know, dude. This is the man that killed your wife, and he apparently is calling you as a cry for help.
And he still calls you father.
Especially if he still calls you like father.
Okay, so the scene cuts and it's Morgan and Bo in their room, and Morgan is looking through a telescope to the sky. Which, by the way, I know Meryl or Joaquin Phoenix is trying to prevent them to be freaking out over aliens, but honestly, he's not doing a good job. He's just freaking himself out with the TV because these kids are getting informed by a book and they're looking at the sky because they know they're invisible.
Still wearing the tinfoil hats.
Still wearing the tinfoils because they're protecting their heads.
You can't let them read your minds, Carlos. Obviously, that's why the aliens are there. Like, whoa, I lost track of these two kids. Let me go into the house, see if they're still fucking here. What are they doing?
And then at this point Bo starts saying that she's having weird feelings and that she's worried, and Morgan's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll always be there to protect you." And she's like, "No, but I'm worried about you. I don't want anything to happen to you. I don't want you to die." And then Morgan's like, "Who said I was gonna die?" And she just stays quiet. But
I think at this point they are hinting more at, because we already got a hint earlier where he's like, "Oh, are you in my dream too?"
Yeah, that was the
feel
start
like
of the movie.
there's something going on with Bo. She may be having premonitions.
Mhm.
She might be dreaming of the events as they happen, or what. But there is something, and I hope it comes back in Signs 2.
Coincidences.
there is something happening, and I also think why she's making up excuses, but she really is putting water everywhere. She's leaving glasses of water. I think maybe she was using it as an excuse, but maybe she sees in her dreams that the water might help.
Yeah, she's somehow psychic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that just of the shit that we've seen, actually. So I'm okay with that theory.
Okay.
So we got Graham's character, well, Mel Gibson's character, Graham, coming in now to Ray's property. And he opens the screen door, knocks on the door. No answer. No one's coming to the door. At this point, he kind of takes a loop around the house, looks into some windows. And you can see that there's signs of struggle, signs of someone packing, trying to get some things out of there.
Yeah.
Something's up in there. And so he walks off the porch, and at this point is where he sees where Ray is. He's in his SUV.
Yeah.
Asleep.
Not asleep.
Fucking wife murderer, dude.
But in the car that's paid for by the insurance.
Oh.
No. But he sees Ray in the driver's seat of his SUV. He walks over, and this is where they have that conversation. So Mel Gibson's character comes up to the vehicle. Windows are down, and he notices it's packed full of stuff. It looks like he's leaving.
Yeah, it doesn't even look organized. Like, it just looks like it was a bunch of shit that he just like, okay, quick. And
he's not moving. He's leaving.
Yeah, he's fucking abandoning his house, dude.
And he notices a bit of blood on Ray's shirt. His blood? Not sure.
Yeah.
And he asks, "Oh, well, what's happening?" And that's where Ray starts giving his story. It's like, "Okay, well, I've had your phone number there next to the phone for 6 months. I didn't know when I was going to call you, and I don't know why I called you right now, but you were the person I called." And he starts talking about the night. It's like, I was working so long that night, I've never fallen asleep while driving, and
Never since.
Oh, and then Mel Gibson just gives a little don't. Like, he knows what's gonna happen, like what conversation's gonna happen.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, if at any point during the drive I would have just, if I had fallen asleep at any point during that drive before hitting her, I would have just ended up in a ditch with a headache. But it had to be those 15 seconds while she was passing." it's like it was meant to be.
Meant to be to kill
I
your
feel like
wife,
that's a terrible
dude.
thing you say.
Honestly, yeah.
Honestly.
Like, I know he didn't say it like that, but the choice of words were not the best.
Well, then again, we are talking about a man that's scared of we're about to see what he experienced,
Yeah.
right? But I
He's
feel
not in
like
the right frame of mind.
no, dude, he's not in the right frame of mind, and I feel like also this is an experience that he's been holding it in for 6 months. Like he said that
Yeah.
he had the phone number there for 6 months ever since the accident happened. So
And it was his reverend. I mean, I'm sure they don't talk about it, but I'm sure we can assume that
that he
he has
went to that
confessed to him
church.
before.
Yeah,
Mhm.
dude, because it was we talked about it before. It being a small town, kind of it just kind of paints it to us that everyone kind of knows each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right, Carlos. He probably attended the fucking church, dude. He probably knew this family, you know.
But again, he says it's like it was meant to be. And then the silence hangs for a few seconds. And he's like, okay, well, I guess it's the end of the world. I'm screwed, right? People who kill reverends' wives aren't exactly ushered into the front of the line at heaven. So it seems he knows he's doomed, morally speaking, but Mel Gibson's character's like, okay, well, where are you going? I'm going to the lake. The way I see it, these places marked by crops and such, none of them are near water. I don't think they like water.
Hint,
Kind of
hint.
making some assumptions now, but
Mhm.
say, okay, can't be any worse than here. Well, Graham's character, did you see something, Ray? Ray, I know what I've done to you. I made you question your faith. And I'm truly sorry for what I've done to you and yours. Graham's character right here, he's just...
We get some of that Mel Gibson acting, dude. It's amazing.
Yeah, he looks a little shaken by that. He wasn't expecting that, and he just kind of shakes his head and like nods.
It's all right.
Coughs out.
with tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he just coughs out and all right, and just...
At this point, Ray's character just peels off.
Well, he says don't go into the
Oh
cupboard.
yeah, don't go into the cupboard. You're right. You're right. Don't go into the pantry,
The
father.
pantry.
Don't go
Sorry.
into the pantry, father. And by the way, I do want to point out, Ray was actually M. Night Shyamalan. For all you guys that haven't been paying attention to us
Yeah.
talking shit, if we are full of shit, please leave a comment down below. Of course, don't forget that.
I'm pretty sure that was M. Night Shyamalan.
I am 100% sure that was M. Night Shyamalan, dude. He's fucking credited. He
Okay.
credited himself.
Okay.
He could have just played, M. Night Shyamalan played by M. Night Shyamalan. But no, he was like, you know what, I'm going to change my name. I look like a Ray. That's it. I would want to act in my own shit, just saying. If I directed it and wrote it, apparently.
Maybe that's why Stanley would do little cameos.
Hey. I feel like that just kind of happened. I
You
was
think
like, you know
so?
what, let's just put him in every movie now, from now on. After the first one.
I would've put
I think
myself.
Spike Lee had a contractual obligation.
Spike Lee?
Who?
You said we're talking about Stanley.
Stanley. I think you said Spike Lee before.
I said Spike Lee.
Ladies and gentlemen, leave a comment down below who the fuck
I
said
meant
Spike Lee.
Stanley. If I did say Spike Lee, I meant Stanley.
I'm also meant Stanley. I thought we said Spike Lee.
Okay, Stanley.
But we're all talking about the same person.
Yes.
But yeah, I think Stan Lee probably he gets to be in the movies. They probably have a contractual obligation to him.
Maybe.
I think that's what it is. I think I remember reading about that. Or maybe I made it up.
Okay.
Let me know in the comments.
I
down
would
below.
put myself in the movies.
Fuck yeah. Alright, we go to one of Lety's favorite scenes.
Yes.
We gotta-
This is my favorite scene. Okay, so Joaquin Phoenix is waking up and
Again,
yeah,
poor man.
Woken up by the TV.
being woken up by the TV, and it's the news, and they're saying that they're about to show a 7-year-old's birthday party, and that the video might be a little unsettling. But
They just got this through
Yeah.
satellite, completely new age tech that they got to tape over to the news station so fast.
But it's important, and you have to watch. Okay, so Joaquin Phoenix gets close to the TV, and it's a bunch of kids. They're freaking out, and they're like,
Fucking
"It's right
hectic.
there!" Yeah, it's fucking crazy, and you
Yeah,
can see that.
home video of this kid's birthday.
Yeah, and you can see the everyone just rushed inside. The party was happening outside. There's cake everywhere, gifts, and they end up running to the other window.
Yeah, they pass like a little hallway and they go to another
Yeah.
window, get a better angle of like this
And-
hall.
And then Joaquin Phoenix is like, move, vámonos. And there's this kid that speaks in like 3 different languages explaining that the thing is right there. And then you see the alien peek out through the grass or whatever, the hedges. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah,
he peeks out.
passing through that little alleyway.
Yeah, and the alien just walks by. It's fucking amazing scene,
And the music
dude.
in the back was like. And
And this scene was iconic at the time.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix reaction. He's like, oh my god, and he like pushes back. He trips over the chair. He hits
trips
the
over all the Harry
coat.
Potter wands that are there.
And they replay the news replays that clip, just that part where you can see the alien, and they pause it just so you can get a good view of how tall these aliens are.
Yeah, there's like a buggy behind him. He's completely towering that fucking buggy, and there's like a door behind that buggy, and he's still pretty fucking tall.
Yeah, and it was
Holy
hunched
shit.
over. That's what's a fucking amazing. Like,
And we get a view of the camouflage that we talked about, because he
He
looked
he was
exactly
green.
like the colors of the. Yeah, he looked green, dark green, all
Yeah,
that
yeah,
bullshit,
yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
what the giant fucking tree that was there looked like.
It was like a shrub or something.
Yeah,
Like a bush.
yeah, just a giant bush, you know.
I wanted to mention how it's pretty funny, I think, that we got this alien. Because and anyone that hasn't seen this scene, please look
Iconic.
up,
Iconic,
right now,
iconic.
because it's walking down this street, basically. And
It's making its way downtown.
we barely get to see it for a few seconds while it's passing through that alleyway, and we got the kids' party footage. But the other angle, just walking down the street, he would have just been next to that buggy. He would have just been
Yeah.
seen by everyone just strolling, and he's got like this Sasquatch fucking squat.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Or
man.
his hunch. He's got the Sasquatch hunch.
Yeah, if it would have been on the other side of the street, I would have been staring at this alien, looking at them like, do I
Run.
run or?
Is this
What
normal?
do I do?
Is this...
This alien didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, dude, this alien did not give a fuck about camouflage. This recon team of the aliens, they're poorly trained, ladies and gentlemen. Where the fuck is the discipline?
Well, the ones around
Fucking
Joaquin
spies
Phoenix,
doing cartwhells hiding from
Fuck yeah, dude.
the hedges behind the car. Just
the ones on the farm have actually been pretty good though. They hide
yeah.
they hide in the corn. They
Yeah.
jump away when they're gonna be seen.
Apparently they fucking they play mind games.
They play
If
mind
not, they
games.
wouldn't have shown Mel Gibson
and
his
the
leg, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, those fuck you up.
Maybe at this point they just don't care and they just want it.
Maybe
to
they, at
seem-
that point they noticed that we're fucking evolution from monkeys, so they were like, you know what, these people are dumb.
Like maybe they'll think of him a monkey too if I start walking like a monkey.
Damn, dude.
I don't know.
The
Fucking
reverse mind games.
amazing.
The reverse
scene.
mind games.
Love it. Love
Great
it.
scene. Great
Yeah,
scene.
great scene, honestly.
Iconic. If you haven't seen this movie, just look up that scene. It's
Honestly, that's the least you could do at this point. And then the scene cuts, and it shows us Graham, right, walking into the kitchen, and
Of Ray's
at
house.
Ray's
yeah.
house, correct? And he's looking at the pantry, and it's all blocked the fuck up, and it's like there's
like
a giant mess
shelves.
in the
There's
kitchen.
or I think it's actually a table that's tipped over against the door there. So,
Mm-hmm.
so Graham really wanted to make sure this door wouldn't open.
No, Ray
Oh,
really
Ray-
didn't
Ray-
want
Ray, I'm
this
sorry.
fucking
Ray did not want to get this door,
to open.
and we get to see the camera focuses at the bottom of the door. You can see shadows moving on the other side.
Yeah, fuck
Spooky.
that.
Spooky stuff. And so Graham sees this. Graham sees the shadows moving on the other side here, and he starts trying to intimidate what's on the other side. He starts shouting about being a police officer, being how they just want to talk, but we know about everything that you guys have been doing. We know about the hoax, he says. We already got your friends to talk. They're in the paddy wagon. This is the way he's saying it. He
Paddy wagon,
sounds like a terrible actor, right?
Yeah.
which makes him a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we're gonna give you the same deal they want. We just want you to talk. Don't throw away your life, son. No response.
That's
That's the reverend in him talking.
yeah.
So no response from the door. At this point, Graham gets on his knees and he puts his head against the floor, trying to look down the little slit that's under the pantry door.
Yeah, but he sees nothing. Like they don't show us that he sees anything. It's just plain light.
And he gets back up. He's still on his knees. He looks over to the counter. There is a stainless steel knife.
Beautiful knife, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had the brand so we could know what kind of knife.
Honestly,
it is so
dude,
we
he's
can buy it.
reflecting everything perfectly. Might as
Yeah.
well just be glass.
Kind of terrible product placement opportunity missed.
Yeah, honestly.
But stainless steel.
Ooh, look at that. Perfect.
He can see his reflection in the blade as if it was a mirror, right? No
Yeah.
knives are like that. But this is a movie. So we have mirror blade. He puts it up against the slit of the door down here on the bottom side of it, right?
Uh-huh.
And he tries to angle it so he can see what's in there, but he just sees like foodstuffs.
That's your product placement right there.
I guess so, right? And he looks like a little dejected. He's just he sighs, he gets up, and he starts walking away. And he stops, and he trots back, starts walking back, grabs the knife, and quickly puts his head back down next to the actual door this time to see if he can see something. And at that moment, we see the alien hand come out from under the door trying to grab him.
Yeah.
He freaks out. He lashes out with the knife and he cuts off like 2 or 3 fingers.
Yeah. By the way, there was no actual like crazy ass music happening.
Yeah, it was just
This
the
is
sound
just
of him
this is
struggling.
just the raw like video what just happened. He's looking at it,
And
no
the
audio
scratching sounds of the
hand
nails.
coming through, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And boom, like you said, cuts him. I love the fact that they don't point these things out, but the hand was camouflaged
As red.
as red and kind of
Like
woody,
like,
like
yeah.
because the door was kind of like bluish.
Oh, you know what? Maybe he was actually looking at the alien through
And
the
he
knife,
was-
but
but
it
he
was
was
camouflaged,
camouflaged.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, because they did show it like that, and you see that in the hand with the movement. You see the camouflage on it, that picking up those colors. I was like, damn,
I did not notice that.
yeah.
I wonder what the alien was thinking. Like
Well,
what
he's stuck.
how
He's trying
how
to get
much
out.
yeah, like how much of a difference can you do with your hand under the door?
He was trying to grab something.
I guess.
Because we're assuming they could read minds, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So what if he knew he had some sort of tool, right? He had some sort of knife, and he was trying to grab that away from him.
Maybe
Maybe he can use the knife to get out or something.
I mean, he was just trying to use the tool to get the fuck out, you know. But at this point, it leaves us to the like, oh, if he could read minds, then why did he leave his hand there and get his fucking fingers chopped off? I get it, but I feel like that's something that was more instinctual.
Well, going back to what the Reverend was thinking, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we're giving the movie too much benefit of
Benefit
the
of the
doubt
doubt.
now, but I feel like the Reverend grabbed that knife, and he did not think of it as a weapon. He thought of it as a mirror to be able to see through.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well then, since the alien knows he's being seen at that point, he starts camouflaging, right?
Yeah.
Then he can't see anything, so he walks away. But he's coming back with the knife. What if he's thinking of it as a different thing now? Because he's not actually trying to look at the creature with the knife. He's just holding the knife. What if he thinks of it as like a tool that he can open something with, right?
Yeah.
Like a knife, but he doesn't understand that he can be hurt by that knife. So he sticks out his hand trying to grab the thing, gets cut.
Boom. Fingers gone. Or
But
claws,
again,
honestly.
we're adding in a whole bunch of shit that they did not bring up in the movie at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, this is what they want to do. I'm pretty sure this is what people want to do with their movies. Get them talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, they bring up how they're gonna read their minds, but they never actually read their minds, right?
Yeah, like they
Or
never really...
never make it obvious that they were reading their mind.
Yeah, because at this point they never really bring it up, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, they were reading our minds." No, this is just going through the children's fucking eyes of what they read in that book.
All right, move on.
Yeah, next scene. He leaves obviously. After that, after they scream, boom, scene cuts. Again, he's walking into the house. He opens the door, and now he sees all 3 of them sitting on the couch
With the tinfoil
with the
hats.
tinfoil hats.
With the
And then
pointy shit too, even
Yeah.
Merle, all three of them.
yeah, and Merle's like they camouflage, they change colors, which is why we couldn't see them that night. Which makes sense to him and why he's so scared. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, like that's why I couldn't see them. And then Mel Gibson kind of blows it on. He's like, okay, tell me, in this book, did it happen to give any detail about what happened if they were hostile? And he's like, yes. It said that they would probably invade. They would use ground tactics, hand-to-hand combat. I mean, yeah. They wouldn't use their technology or flight because they would actually cause, for us humans, like we always do,
To use nuclear.
to use nuclear fucking
They're
weapons.
scared of us using nuclear and ruining the planet.
Yeah.
And then fucking Mel Gibson's like, that's ridiculous. They start talking about how they would leave. What was the other option? It's like, okay, well they leave, they come back 1,000 years with like a whole armada. Like, okay, then what is option number 2?
They don't leave, they win.
They win.
And at this point, it's like, oh, well, what's happening? Morgan asking the father. He's like,
And the guy, he tells him about that theory that he heard. He's like, I heard a theory that they don't really like water. Him referring to what Ray had said. And the kid's like, that sounds made up. Like, really? You little shithead? Just because it wasn't in your book, it's made up? Oh, God damn it. He's just jealous, dude. He wasn't in the Home Alone movies. Honestly.
well, Graham is like, okay, well, I think we should go to the lake.
And let's take a vote on it.
Oh, that's right. They start a family discussion in this scene. Let's take a vote. Who wants to pack up and leave and go to the lake or the river, right? Just get close to near water.
Yeah.
Okay.
And who
And,
wants to stay inside the house and wait it out?
Because, I mean, shit, right? Let's just
Might as well.
might as well
Yeah,
just
either,
chill out.
Either
You know,
way, we
like-
get to be together.
Yeah.
Which is all that matters in the end, I guess.
So, whoever wants the lake idea, raise your hands. And Bo raises her hands, Graham raises his hand. Then all those in favor of staying home, raise your hands. And it's Morgan and Merle raising their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Graham pulls a little dick move, a
Yeah.
little asshole move right here. It's like, okay, well, my vote counts for 2. So, we're going to the lake.
That's bullshit. That's cheating. Fucking
Morgan.
Morgan comes up with his little fucking attitude. This kid needs to be spanked.
But he says, like, oh no, I don't want to leave the house. This is where we lived with Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And hearing that, Bo, can I change my vote?
Yeah, because she wants to be where her mom was.
She's
Morgan
convinced.
playing this mind
Yeah.
games, dude. This is where the whole situation gets switched on him because basically Morgan calls for another vote. He's like, okay, all you who want to stay here, and then all 3 of them on the couch raise their hand. And he's like, there you go. That's 3 to your 2. He's like, I'll give you your 2 votes, but
You're outnumbered.
yeah. And then this is when he starts talking about that they need to board up the house.
Seeing how Morgan is very, I guess,
Confrontational.
with his father. It kind of shows you how I feel like the director was trying to mirror how Mel Gibson is right now with God, because he doesn't have faith. He basically hates it, and we'll see it eventually in the movie. Spoilers, we already saw the movie, which you know this.
Of course.
But
it's,
Morgan,
it's a way that someone loses face. They're questioning the will of God,
yeah,
right?
and Morgan, which we see later on, he hates his father.
Yeah.
He hates his father because in his eyes, he let his mother die.
Yeah.
So
And we'll get into more details in that conversation once the scene comes up.
mhm.
That way we could bring it up as, you know what, this is happening. This is what we're talking about.
But
Yeah.
it's this moment where Morgan is lashing out at the father and getting all the other members of the house banding together against
Yeah, this is
against
him.
God, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. This is it. This is one of those hints of what's going to happen earlier. We get a scene here that I feel could have been cut.
It's a pointless scene.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other deleted scenes. There's a bunch of other deleted scenes that didn't make it, and we'll talk about them on
Yeah.
as where they belong and where they were added because I thought they were great. But this scene, we get Meryl bringing all the stuff from the out. No, it's not an outhouse. What the fuck am I
Well,
saying?
it's like the shed that he sleeps in.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, it's
basically-
his room eventually.
It's his room.
It's his room. It's
Yeah,
outside, the
of
house.
the main house. Yeah, so he gets a little rock. He's looking at the cornfield. I get it. Cause I fuck the cornfield because I know they're in there. He gets a rock, he throws it,
Nothing.
Nothing
nothing,
happens.
walks back. But I guess, in a way, I guess I understand why the scene is here because it's showing fear and it's going against the crop field. Like
Yeah,
it's showing a little bit
but
of.
the scenes that they deleted were so much better than this one. And it wasn't even like a full on 5 minute scene. It was like a minute, maybe 2 minutes of just adding to scenes that are already happening.
Yeah.
That would have been better than that scene. The kids are they're in the
Harry
cupboard and they're
Potter's room.
looking at the news, and they call the uncle and the dad to go see, and they're explaining how the lights are over 274 cities. They think that there'll be 400 more within the hour, and they're explaining how the crop circles
They
were
were for navigation.
maps, and they were for navigation. So Joaquin Phoenix at that moment realizes, and he's like, oh, they're gonna be within a mile from us. And Mel Gibson is like, oh, and he kind of like blows it off, not really, like not with an attitude, but he blows it off, and he decides to go back and continue boarding up the house. And this is where you get to see another instance of when Morgan, or how Morgan really does hate his father, because he looks at his uncle and he's like, I wish you were my dad.
Yeah, after he tells him that, is like, fuck, dude, really? And then Joaquin Phoenix just reacts to it, and I think the way he reacted, it was great.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, don't you ever say that. Don't you ever say that, because you're talking about your dad, dude. You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of fucked up. And I think it's great in that same scene. He does tell Morgan tells his dad, like, you know what? I was wrong, Dad. Like, they are hostile.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're here to fucking take over. It was a fucking recon team. It was all this bullshit. And then after that, they actually show Graham and looking outside of the boards. Letty, you wanted to mention something on that?
No,
Or I
that's
think it's
a
the
later
next
scene.
one, yeah.
Oh, it is in the later scene. Okay,
Well,
cool.
I think it's coming up right here where he's in his room, right?
Yeah.
Staring out the window.
And we get the basically it's kind of the calm before the storm is kind of what we get. It's the outside of the house. There's a bunch of wind. All the chimes are fucking chiming, obviously, and all this crazy shit going on. And we get what's going on inside the house. And then we get Mara was like, "Hey, there's too many windows." It's like, that's fine. Just board up the doors. Mel Gibson's just sitting down. He's just giving up, dude.
Yeah.
talking
At
about
this,
talking about the windows in the bedrooms.
Talking about the windows in the bedroom, correct.
But at this point, you can really see how Mel Gibson's character has given up, honestly. And at this point, they decide that they're gonna board up the doors, and Joaquin Phoenix's character decides to do something, or like he wants to eat something for dinner that's quick to make, so they don't waste up more time.
He's like,
Sandwiches, and then Bo's like, but I wanted spaghetti, and then Mel Gibson's character says like, that's perfect. Preparing their last meal. So then he looks at
Yeah,
Morgan
dude.
and he's like, what do you want? And Morgan's like, French toast with mashed potatoes. He's like, that sounds amazing. And what about you, Merle? And Joaquin Phoenix says, oh, I want teriyaki chicken.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna have a double cheeseburger with bacon, double bacon.
Damn,
And like, honestly, it's a quick scene, but it's really sad how at this point he's given up.
you could
And
see in his face,
yeah, and
and the
he's-
way he doesn't even look at them while he's talking to them.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's literally thinking, you know what? This is over. I'm gonna have them. We're all gonna go out with our favorite meal. We're all gonna go out with a full stomach. Like, I want us to be satisfied one last time.
We're gonna die with dirty dishes.
Yeah, who wants to clean those dishes after you're done?
They left all the dishes and they were just gonna have dinner, dude,
Yeah,
and then
like, fuck
board
this.
up and get ready for the end of the world, basically.
So next scene, we see all the dirty dishes. We see at the end of this little corridor, a small table with the two kids on either side. Merle,
Shit, the Last Supper right there, dude.
Merle to
Yeah.
the left side of Graham, and there, no one's talking. Everyone's just kind of looking down at their food.
Yeah.
And Graham's like, "What's the matter? Eat." Morgan, maybe we should say a prayer. It's like, no,
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
why not?
He's like, Bo had a bad dream. I think we should say a prayer. And he's like, no, I will not. What was it? I will not spend another minute of prayer in my life.
I never, yeah. And Morgan says,
I hate
I
you.
hate you, through teary eyes.
Yeah. And Mel Gibson says that's fine. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure he said that to God himself. Like, I hate you. You took away my life. You took
Yeah.
away my wife and what I enjoy doing, which was praying to you, like, and encouraging other people to pray to you. So, that's the kind of mirror that I was talking about, how Morgan just really does it. Like, even though he hates his father, he obviously does love him, because at the end of this scene, Mel Gibson's crying and Morgan stands up and he hugs him. Like, it's a difficult.
Before that, I just
Uh-huh.
want to talk about this right here because Graham goes on a little rant here.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste another minute of my life on prayer. No one's stopping us from enjoying this meal, so enjoy it. And he shouts that, and it's like at that point, yeah, he's the only one stopping them from enjoying the meal is actually Graham.
Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't want to pray.
And he starts eating. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna have a little bit of everything. And he grabs some of the mashed potatoes and grabs a toast from Morgan and gets some spaghetti from Bo. And grabs some chicken from Merle's plate.
Dude, I don't know where they got that French toast.
It looks
that bread
fucking good.
looked thick. It looked juicy.
Some Texas toast right there.
Damn, dude, it looked fucking amazing. Ladies
Not
and gentlemen.
sponsored by Texas Toast, but would like to be.
Honestly, I would eat some breakfast toast right now, dude. That fucking plate looked amazing.
But who eats French toast with mashed potatoes? Kind of
I
fucking
don't
new
know.
flavor of Pringles is this?
Honestly, that's some Culkin shit. Or McCollin, or whatever.
It's Culkin.
Just Culkin.
Culkin.
Just Culkin.
Culkin,
No more
ladies and gentlemen,
Culkin.
whatever his name is. Home Alone kid.
The brother.
The brother of the Home Alone kid. The other brother.
Anyways, so Graham is eating all this food and he's trying his hardest just to have a taste of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
And-
starts shoving food into his mouth, and he
And
knows it's wrong, dude. He
Yeah.
He's
knows
crying.
it's
He
wrong.
starts
Yeah.
crying. He starts crying and
He breaks down.
He's just breaking down, and everyone's crying at the table right now, and they just.
Yeah.
First it's Morgan, then Bo going to the father to console him. They're hugging, they're crying, and Graham grabs Merle
Yeah.
to bring him into the embrace as well.
The group hug that's happening.
Yeah, they needed this. They didn't need a last meal.
No.
I would have been okay with the last meal.
I mean, the spaghetti looked amazing. I know you like the French toast, but I would have gone more for the spaghetti.
I like this. After they're in the middle of their embrace of that family moment that Carlos said that they needed, which they did, honestly. Camera pans out and they see the baby monitor and it starts going haywire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it starts going crazy.
They
It's
had
like
it
a
on
kid.
this whole time, and they were just waiting for something, and they're finally getting a signal, and like it's happening.
Yeah, like, this is it. So they go to, Graham goes into the cupboard under the stairs, opens it, trying to look at the TV, get more information, and it's just a beep. It's one of those testing things. It's just beeping.
No
and
signal.
looks towards the front door. Like, it's happening. This is it.
And so we get a quick flash to
Them
boarding
close.
up,
Yeah.
finishing up boarding up the house. Looks like they didn't finish
And
earlier.
this is the scene that I want to talk about, because Mel Gibson is in his room and you see him kind of walk towards the window. You don't get to see what he sees,
But he's staring at something.
but he's staring at something, and I'm pretty sure he knew that the aliens were already there. Obviously, they were there from the beginning of the movie, but at this point, I'm pretty sure he's seen like some rustling in the crop circles or in the crop in
Or
general.
maybe the fucking camouflage for the actual flying saucer just went off because they're like, fuck
Yeah.
it, it's time to go.
Because you could see it in his eyes that he
There was
sees something, and Merle, which is Joaquin Phoenix, had to snap him out of it. He's like, Graham, come on,
Hurry.
hurry. So they had to, he like snaps out of it and he closes the door and they start boarding up the door. And then this is where he starts telling Bo, obviously, because he thinks that they're gonna die. He starts
Yeah.
telling Bo of the first time her mom saw her, and she just looked at the mom, but she opened her eyes, and all of the nurses are saying that was the first time that they had seen a baby do that, and
A baby that young.
yeah, a baby that young, and that she looked like an angel, and she was just beautiful.
This
And
whole time, Joaquin Phoenix is just board by board. He like Graham is calm because I feel like this at this point he accepted it,
yeah,
but Joaquin is not done. He's boarding everything up as
He's
he's
trying to be prepared.
yeah, he's trying to
Yeah.
be prepared because I mean, one needs to be the responsible parent at this point. Honestly, Joaquin is getting all the boards. He's going up, and at this same time, Mel Gibson is telling
yeah.
Bo
And
a
then,
little story.
Bo gets close to her dad, and Mel Gibson gets on his knees to look at her up close, and she's like, he's just telling her the rest of the story, how she looks beautiful, and Bo just looks at him and she smiles. It was like it was a really cute moment, and he like picks her up and takes her downstairs. At this time, the dog starts barking, and they realize that they forgot the dog
Yeah, they had
outside.
mentioned earlier like that they would make their food and then they would get the dog and bring him in. But I mean, they forgot, but it's all happening so fast.
Yeah.
And so the dog's barking off screen outside the house, and the camera kind of just pans over to a corner of the room.
I guess where the dog should have been on the other side of
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah, like if it's the camera focusing on where the dog's sound is coming from, and just barking, 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 and then it starts whimpering, starts hear like a sound of struggle or something, like the dog's not having something's attacking it, right?
Yeah,
So he's attacking the dog, and then there's no sound,
dead.
just the wind chimes,
Yeah,
and it cuts back to the family, and they're just holding each other. Should we turn off the lights? Merle says, and Graham's like, they already know we're here.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like.
Again, we're talking about the same man that already accepted his faith. You know, he's like, fuck, we're done.
And so the camera pans back to the wall, and you can hear the floorboards creaking under footsteps on the other side. And the family's focusing on that. They obviously can hear it too, and they're moving to face the sound as it moves across the outside of the house. And as it passes through the windows, you can see the shadows they make in between the boards.
Yeah.
And they hear a loud thud, like if someone's trying to open the back door, so they face the back door. Then to the front door, the same thud. So they quickly turn around. And the doors are boarded up still, but they can hear the boards creaking.
At this point, Morgan I think he just realizes exactly what's about to happen. He goes, Dad? And Mel Gibson gets close to him, and now it's
he kneels
his.
down.
Yeah, he kneels down, and now it's his time to hear what happened of the day that he was born. And he's telling him the story how his mom was bleeding, and
Joaquin on the background. Like, they're on the roof.
and how they were trying to fix her up, and he didn't want to look at him because he wanted the mom to see
They're
Morgan
inside the house
first.
now.
And at this point, Morgan's looking everywhere, and he's trying. Mel Gibson gets Morgan to look at him back, and he goes, "When your mom finally sees you, she says like, 'Hi, Morgan, I'm your mom. You look exactly the way I thought you would look.'" Like, she had been waiting for this day.
She had dreamt about it.
Yeah, she had dreamt about it, and it was finally coming. And Morgan just looks at him, and his eyes are getting teared up. And
Joaquin Phoenix, this whole time, he's looking everywhere, trying to see where he's
Yeah.
pacing back and forth. They're inside the house. They're everywhere. They're basically inside already.
And
Yeah.
the scene just ends with Morgan and Graham crying to each other.
yeah,
This,
smiling at each other.
This is a scene that they actually cut from the movie that should have definitely been there.
Yeah.
They kind of pan over. They're looking upstairs. Camera angles look. It's basically giving it their point of view, right? They're giving us their point of view. Camera points towards the attic door.
Yeah, it's one of those swinging attic doors that comes from the ceiling. Like, I don't know if anyone has seen these, where it's got like a rope that you got to pull down to actually pull down the ladder to climb into the attic.
Yeah, that's exactly the one. And they took off the scene, and it kind of bothered me because I thought it was a great scene. Because, okay, so what ends up happening is they actually go upstairs and they get like a book, a giant shelf for those books.
and
It looks heavy duty, honestly. It looks kind of none of the shit that we get now. No, this shit was properly built. They put it under, and right as soon as they do that, they hear a hit, and the attic door actually
Opens,
swings down.
yeah.
But it stops because of the bookshelf, and it stops right there, and it keeps swinging. and they're still hitting it, hit, and they run downstairs. This where that's where the cut came in.
I like the fact that they, well, I don't like the fact that they deleted that scene. That scene would have been perfect, but it shows that even though Graham had given up, Merle didn't, and they still kind of put obstacles in the way of the aliens so they wouldn't get in the house.
So in the deleted scene, Graham helped Merle do that.
And
Maybe that's why they took it out.
And that's because it's because Graham actually is actually the one doing it. I understand what you mean, like, oh, he giving up hope, and why would we show him actually helping? But it's Graham and he asked for help. I mean, it's Merle and he asked for help.
Oh, okay, okay. I guess it makes sense. I mean, I'd have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, and that's where we get the cut, and we just see they don't show us, but they don't, obviously they cut the scene, but we see Merle and we see Graham running down the stairs because they had just did that. They had just boarded up the top.
And the kids are staring at the door, and it looks like they're shaking, they're crying.
And you can see the alien hand under the door.
As they're being pulled away and going to the basement now.
Yeah, and this right here is another scene that they cut. They close that door. They close that door right there, and they're actually putting chairs and they're putting a bunch of things on it.
From what I remember, I think Merle and the kids went downstairs and Graham stayed upstairs and he put like a chair under the door. Like to prevent it to open.
That's right. So he puts that, but automatically, boom, he gets a hit on the other side. Which means they were right behind them the whole time. They were right there. They had gone into the house through the attic door. They had gone, they were already chasing them, which I thought was creepy because we don't hear any footsteps, but they were already there. Like, as soon as he closed the door, he put the chair in, boom, hit. Like, holy shit.
Mel Gibson's face is kind of like, okay, and he just goes downstairs. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't freak out or anything. He just goes downstairs and closes the basement door, and that's what you see when the movie continues.
Yeah, this is where the actual movie just kicks in. Then the basement, and again, Graham is just holding on to it, holding on to the door, and he's like, I need something to wedge into the door. And Morgan says, "Oh, like they'll read our minds."
Yeah, right? We didn't bring in aluminum. We don't have protection against their mind reading. It's like, stop, Morgan, you're scaring your sister.
And she's like, I'm already scared.
Yeah, and in the background you see again Merle like hauling ass trying to find something, dude. This whole time he's just trying to do whatever he can to keep them alive.
At this point, you actually see the door handle moving, where. First time, I guess, the aliens have been using a door. As far as we've known, they have not known how to open doors.
And that's the part where the door kind of struggles to open, and the camera is like a slow motion, and Mel Gibson just goes, "I'm not ready." So this is the part where I was like, "Oh, he's not ready to die. His hope to continue living is back."
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it could be why they delayed that scene with the bookcase, because he wouldn't have wanted to do anything. But at this moment, he's going to struggle for all this that they're going to have right now, right?
Yeah, I guess that gives the scene a little bit more of an impactfulness to it, you know.
And the lights actually cut out, or no? Right.
Merle finds what is it, like a
axe?
It's like a little axe, yeah.
And he ends up hitting the light bulb by accident, and the lights go out. And Morgan finds a flashlight right away, I might add.
Yeah, because he has that photographic memory where apparently no one's been there because this basement looks nasty as fuck, and he just remembered where the flashlight was.
And there's still battery in the flashlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out that it's a different flashlight from when we had.
Oh, in the corridor, right?
Graham using the flashlight in the corn maze.
When he saw the foot.
Yeah.
But whatever, M. Night Shyamalan, I'll choose to buy it.
Yeah, what kind of family has 3 flashlights?
I can barely find one.
Honestly.
I use my phone now.
Oh, true. So they're looking around the room with the flashlight, just trying to see what they have available to them. They find a radio, and they switch through the channels, just all static, just nothing. And it's Merle. It's like, oh, I wonder what's happening out there. And I can't even imagine Graham's character.
We don't even have helmets. Love that.
I heard little comments every now and then.
Yeah. And at this point, we get a giant thud. It doesn't look like they're trying to open the door anymore, and Graham quickly notices. He catches on to this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, they're only making noises now. They're not trying to get in anymore. Why would they do that? Like, they just want our attention on the door? Like, he's asking around.
Mm.
And Morgan here comes in and is like, they're
Yeah.
distracting us from what? The book says they're very good problem solvers. They're going to find a way in. Again, they hear thud on the door. It literally just sounds like they're hitting the door
Yeah.
in whatever place. Like, they're not even hitting it hard. They're just literally making noise. And a horrible fucking scene happens here. He's like, okay, pass me the flashlight. Carlos, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, Graham asking Morgan for the flashlight, and Morgan's like, "Oh yeah." He squats down and he throws the flashlight across the ground.
Fuck you, Dad. Work for it.
Right? It's like some dirty ass. I don't even know if it's concrete on the floor.
Jesus.
Scratching up a good-looking flashlight, I might add.
Honestly. They look heavy duty, dude.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
at this
they're,
point,
they're
they
like
start.
they're like 3 steps away, and he decided to do that. This is why you weren't in the Home Alone movies, asshole.
Oh my God.
So at this point, Merle and Graham, they decide like, oh, there's a coal chute in here.
Yeah, they don't decide. They remembered. They remembered that they used to shoot coal down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they decide to look for it, and they go opposite ways, and they ended up meeting in the middle.
and they shine their lights at what this coal chute is, I guess.
Yeah.
Looks like a sort of like chimney kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And it's they got Morgan right in front of it. It's like, what? And at that moment, a hand moves and grabs
Mhm.
Morgan.
A camouflaged hand moves.
Yeah.
It was a hand that was there that whole time.
Yeah.
And this is one of the also iconic scenes in the movie, I think. Where
They throw the lights down, so we don't get to see exactly how they get Morgan back, but you hear the struggle of like, do you have him? I got him, and get him, and a bunch of like those comments, and the flash ends up pointing to Bo's feet.
You know
And-
what's so funny before we move on from
Yeah.
here? That was kind of basically what they did the first time. They were trying to capture the alien. Remember when they left the house running opposite ends?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they just did.
Yeah.
But this time they did catch it. And this is with them fully conscious that these things camouflage now and can camouflage. I wonder if that's the reason why they didn't get close to it. Besides the fact I understand that it's movie magic and they need to give us that little scare.
True.
Maybe they saw it. Maybe they saw it. They were like, wait, that looks off.
yeah,
and
they
then
saw it,
boom,
but they
hand.
couldn't perceive it before.
Yeah.
You know, what's also a little weird to me is Morgan and Bo are like really close throughout the whole movie. Obviously, they only have each other and they only play with each other. But Morgan decided to stand there instead of going with Bo.
And he wasn't standing there before. He was in the room
Yeah.
with a flashlight before. Then they started talking about looking for a coal chute. And he's like, okay, I better put my back to the wall.
Yeah.
I better put my back to the wall where there's a cool breeze coming in.
Yeah.
It's warm down there, guys.
Coming back into the scene here, the lights shining at Bo. She gingerly comes up to the flashlight. She grabs it, and she shines the light towards everyone else. You got Merle, who is stacking bags of dog food over the coal chute. I want to point out that it's a lot of bags of dog food for just 2 dogs.
Yeah.
They were on sale, man.
Honestly, I just think that it might have been just easier for them. Like, they don't have to go to the city as much. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, we don't know where they have to get this dog food, right? So maybe they just keep a bunch of it and just fuck it if it goes stale.
Yeah, but it was like
It's for the dogs anyways.
Like 6 bags of dog food.
And so Merle, after putting 4 bags of dog food in front of the chute, stacking them on top of each other, he presses his back against it, then falls to the ground. But on the ground, there's a can of Campbell's Chunky Soup, not sponsored.
But
Would like to be.
And he, just to make sure that the camera sees what kind of soup can it is, it's Chunky's right there. He sees the can, he grabs it, and he puts it on top of the bags of food. Just, I think, some comedic relief.
That was very much needed in this type of scene, honestly.
But then Merle shines the light at Graham and
Morgan.
Morgan, and Morgan is having an asthma attack.
Mhm.
And Graham's got him on his lap, have his chest against his back, um, and he's just trying to calm him down from this attack. And he says, "Oh, we don't have his medicine. We don't have his inhaler." So he's just trying to console his son. He's like, "Don't be afraid. We need to slow this down. Feel my chest. Feel it moving in and out. Just trying to control his breathing,
Yeah.
right?"
We're the same. We're the same. We're the same. Breathe like me. And
And he doesn't stop talking. Just keeps on saying encouragingly. Bo, on the other side of the room, says, "I dreamt about this."
Mhm.
Again, going back to like this is a hint, I guess, to letting the audience know. It's like, fuck, maybe this is how he dies because she dreamt it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be the time that he said, "Oh, I don't want you to die."
Yeah.
It goes back to that to Bo being possible for her to have that ability to see into a near future. I guess that's one way to put it.
Possibilities, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Bo goes to Joaquin Phoenix for comfort. She sits down and you can see that she's like,
Well, both they're all crying,
yeah, they're like she's about, yeah, she is crying already.
and
Honestly, it's a great cast, dude.
Yeah.
Great cast.
back to Morgan on Mel Gibson's lap. Um he's grabbing at Mel Gibson's pants, just clutching his fist right there. At this moment, Mel Gibson's character says, "Not again." And just after a little pause, "I hate you."
This
I
is
hate
him
you.
talking to God, dude.
Him
Yeah.
talking to God, of course. He's not talking to his son,
No.
because he thinks that God did this. He gave him asthma. He's the one giving him this asthma attack, letting him fucking die.
Yeah.
But then he comes back to reality. He's like, "No, the fear is feeding the attack." He says to Morgan, "It's like, we need to calm down. Don't be afraid of what's happening. Believe it's going to pass. You need to believe. Just wait. Don't be afraid." And at this moment, we actually see Joaquin Phoenix's character. He's the voice coming off screen, and I think it's good acting from Joaquin Phoenix right here, where it's like
he's calming down.
it's like it's for him. It's like his brother is talking to him and telling him to calm
Yeah.
down, telling him it will pass, because you visually see him calm down, control his breathing.
Mhm.
He's still crying. You still see the tears in his eyes, but he's calmed down. And it looks like Bo too. Maybe she looks sad still, but she's not. She's not crying the same way she was a moment
Earlier.
ago.
Yeah.
So
It was like something that they all needed, especially Morgan, right? Because he has the one that attacked, but the other ones just needed it for comfort.
Yeah, that's the closure that they needed that they didn't have at the dinner table because they were all hugging and they were all having this moment together, and then boom, shit started happening.
like it will pass. It's coming.
Yeah, Graham's
Don't be afraid. The air is gonna come.
yeah, Joaquin Phoenix's beautiful eyes just light up, dude.
Yeah.
And we cut back to Morgan's hand clutching the jeans leg, the jeans fucking fabric,
Yeah.
Such a-
and he relaxes his grip. And they calm down. They say like, "Oh yeah, we're the same. We're breathing. The air is coming into our lungs. We're the same. We're the same." So the asthma attack has passed.
Yeah, it passed.
He survived it.
And then that's where they decide that to save up the battery from the flashlights and they turn them off.
That was coming from Merle, who is now thinking clearly.
Yeah.
So they turn off all the lights, and I assume they go to sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we go to the flashback again, or memory, whatever you want to call it. It's Parker signaling down Graham here, and is like, okay, he fell asleep, hit Colleen, and she was pinned between the two of them. Graham's like,
What do you mean pinned?
like the truck severed most of her lower half.
What did you just say?
She won't be saved. And she's saying with tears in her eyes, her body is pinned in such a way that it's alive when it shouldn't be alive. The truck is holding her together, Graham. Know that she doesn't feel much. She's talking almost like normal. And we didn't pull the truck out because we wanted you to come down here and be with her for as long as she's awake. And believe me, that won't be very long. Now, Father, do you understand what I've just told you?
And he's like, Parker, is this the last time I'm going to talk to my wife?
Like, yes, it is. Both of them with tears in their eyes, making it very, very clear that
And-
these people have relationships together. Like,
Yeah, it's a small town.
Yeah.
And now we get the point of view of Graham walking the scene of the crime.
You get
Looking
to
to the
see
right.
Ray.
Looking to the right, you can see Ray just looking into his lap.
asleep. And then again, they start moving, and Graham, someone woke up Graham. It goes back to just saying, dude, this motherfucker's dreaming that every night. That accident is just playing back to his head. And then it cuts in him waking up, and it's the radio. He's like, okay, they woke up, and
The lights back on. Graham, Merle says he found some light bulbs.
the radio's just going on in the background. Yeah, they found his family. Like, they were poisoned. Nobody believed it. This is a raid. They actually came here for us. They came to harvest us, and the radio starts crackling.
Merle's changing the signal
Lucky as hell, they're leaving. They're leaving?
from Graham.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's what they keep saying, man. They're leaving.
How long have we been asleep?
They took
12 hours.
12-hour catnap.
They turn off the radio. He said they had poison gas. They secrete it in small amounts. A lot of people died. But they're leaving, Graham says.
Like, can't believe it.
Yeah. Like he had given up. He thought they were gonna die. And now, potentially, they have been saved.
Yeah, and then he lets them know. It's like, yeah, they left some of their wounded behind. People apparently figured out a weakness. Like, everyone has to have a weakness, right?
I want everyone to remember that. They left some wounded behind.
Yeah, hint, hint. You didn't think we'd make it through the night, did you?
Graham shakes his head. No. And this is another strong scene from Merle here. Listen, there are things I can take and a couple things I can't. One of those things I cannot take is when my older brother, who is everything I want to be, starts losing faith in things. I saw your eyes last night. I don't want to ever see your eyes like that again, okay? I'm serious. And so, like, you get a sort of nonchalance from his dialect, right? But
Yeah.
very serious scene right here from Earl, where, yeah, and it's not even like the first time, because I feel like he could have sensed that from the other night where they were looking at TV, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but who are you really gonna believe that the person you look up to has given up?
That's
I
true.
feel like
You
that's
have to
kind of
see it to
where.
believe it.
Yeah, you have to see it to believe it. It's one of those, and he saw it, dude. He saw it. And he's like, okay. Like, Graham Hamilton was okay. They look at Morgan on the floor, fetal position, next to all the dirt on the ground, and this man has trouble breathing. It's like, okay, well, we need to get his medicine. No shit, we need to get his medicine. It's like, okay. Have they said what areas? Like, well, Philadelphia is offline countries and they're cleared, but who's to know for sure? They're just going back and forth and deciding to get out of there, right?
Yeah, they say that Morgan's not strong enough that if he has another attack right now,
It's
like
I
this,
know he gets cut off. Like, I know.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that everything's okay before we open up. And of course, because what else can they get? They get the little baby monitor that Morgan had in his pocket this whole time.
Yeah, when they had it on last time, it was making a lot of sound, so they quickly turn it on. They hear some static, but not the sounds they
But
were hearing last
nothing.
night.
So they decide that's good enough and they go back upstairs.
It's good enough for me.
And at this point, it does feel like they're in the calm after the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way the everything's set up, yeah, everything like aliens had a fucking tantrum and destroyed the boards on the
Yeah,
windows.
they
threw
trashed the place.
the chairs and stuff.
Yeah, and you could see in the light from the window that the whole place is covered in dust, and I'm not surprised that this kid has asthma. Are you fucking kidding me? There's just fucking dust all over this goddamn light, dude.
I mean, they live on a farm, for God's sake.
Yeah, and this kid has asthma. He needs to get the fuck out of there.
Need some city air.
Maybe he does for science too. He's not
Coincidences.
Or they can't afford the Culkin.
Oh, if they couldn't afford the right Culkin. Oh, this one had asthma.
So it's a long scene right here with just Merle just walking upstairs slowly, checks it out, comes back to the door, is like, okay, looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
And now we got Graham walking up with Morgan on his. Well, he's carrying
Well,
him.
he's
In his
carrying him.
arms. In his arms.
Yeah,
Mm,
like
get
they
the
mentioned,
syringe.
like Lety
Epinephrine.
mentioned, yeah, there's just fucking chaos throughout the house. Like these aliens were like, "Fuck this place! Ah, fucking assholes! Oh my god, I can't turn
Fucking
this
lock
knob."
themselves in the basement. How dare they?
No shit. Dude. And so okay, he goes to the living room. Hint hint, there's a bat on the wall, guys. There's a bat on the wall, and he lays Morgan down
On the couch.
on the couch.
Oh,
They're
and
doing this on the TV and it's Bo dancing. And then Graham just chuckles a little and looks at Morgan. He's like, do you want to see that? And he's like, okay, I'll go get the TV. And he goes and gets the TV from under the cupboard.
And it seems very calm right here up until we see the reflection on the TV that Graham is pulling in. You see a tall figure silhouetted with the light from the window.
Yeah.
Graham sees this, and we notice Bo has been staring at it this whole time too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Graham walks in. Meryl walks in with the syringe, ready to, do the treatment that needs to be done, and he just drops in, and they're both staring at this alien, and he's going back and forth, and he's carrying the kid like a rag doll, dude.
Yeah,
like
in
it's
one arm.
nothing,
In one
one
arm.
armed.
Not even the arm, just the hand.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, not the full arm, just the hand. I really like the fact that Merle sees this and he's like ready for
he's
action.
ready
He was
to
about
charge
to go
forward.
and like get Morgan.
But Graham stops him.
Yeah, and he's like, wait.
And you can see that the way that the alien's got the kid, he's got one hand hovering over his face. And I mean, even if he doesn't have anything weird, he's got a large fucking hand, and you
Yeah,
can
fucking
crush
long
that.
nails
Yeah,
also.
just crush
Them
this
claws, dude.
kid.
Yeah.
So he's obviously in a hostage situation.
Yeah, at this point, the alien is talking in his language, or whatever it is. It just says click. If you have the subtitles on, it says clicking and muttering, and then the camera zooms into the hand that's carrying him, and surprise, surprise, it's the alien that Graham
missing the fingers.
that's missing the fingers, and we get like a little flashback of Graham thinking about it. Oh shit, I cut his fingers, and then it goes back to it, and you can see his hand camouflaged as the shirt of Morgan's wearing.
Coming back to, they had left some wounded behind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Came back for revenge because of you.
Because
They
of you.
left
Well,
me behind.
Yeah, they left him behind.
Yeah, because he might be fucking contaminated. He might be contaminated, whatever the fuck they did to him. So fuck this guy.
And they left him behind, so he came after his son.
Oh, and at this point, we get to zoom in at what's
Some
going
Assassin's
on with
Creed action.
the hand of the alien. A little needle
Yeah.
pokes out from like under the wrist. Thanks for mentioning Assassin's Creed. It's just like the little hidden blade from those assassin characters in that game.
And that leaves us to assume that this is where they have those small doses of poison that they secrete. What is what they heard on the radio. So we're witnessing it firsthand now.
Yeah.
They're letting us know that everything they said on the radio was true.
And we get a little clip of just them staring each other down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the face-off, man. This is it. This is the climax of the movie.
We get to zoom in and see the alien's face.
Still talking.
Clicking and chattering is what it says. Not muttering.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can sort of see the alien's features, but even in the HD quality we have now, you still can't really see what's up with the alien.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure that was done on purpose. Yeah, done intentionally, so it's okay. It's still fucking great. And we get the camera zoom in on Mel Gibson's face.
And flashes of the accident, then a complete immersion into the last bit of the flashback. So we see Graham again in the Reverend costume, or I guess uniform.
Uniform, damn, dude. It's not
Costume.
costume.
Okay. And he's talking to his wife.
And
Like
she's
the
just-
last conversation that they're gonna have, we're getting to see it.
He's like, "Hi, sweetie. Hey, baby." I was taking a walk before dinner. Yeah, you like to walk, don't you?
Damn, he didn't say like that, Carlos.
He said, oh my god,
Yeah,
a
you
Oh,
very
you take
ser-
the scene
a
then.
like
You
to-
take the
very
scene.
You like to
Damn
get
it.
pinned, bitch.
Take the goddamn scene. Take the goddamn scene.
All right, guys. Well, we'll continue from where Carlos left off. So Jesus Christ, Graham's like, "Does it hurt?" And he's with tears in his eyes. Like, I don't feel much. Like, okay, good, good. He grabs her hand, and we actually get an image of what the wife actually looks like for the first time.
She's just
She's-
laying on the hood of the truck.
Yeah, she's leaned over the hood of the truck, and I guess they put like some sort of pillow or something there comfortable for her. Because what the fuck else can you do? This woman's gonna die.
Yeah.
And this is where
She
The-
has a message for every single member of the family. So this is her about to tell him to tell the rest of the family this.
yeah, she's like, oh, and tell Morgan, like, to play more games. And it's okay to be silly, because she knows how serious that kid is. Like, I will, and he's already crying. Like, tell Bo to listen to her brother. He'll always take care of her. It's like, I will. It's just crying. This is it. And tell Graham, it's like, I'm here. Tell him to see. Tell him to see. These are the last words that he was talking about that he mentioned to him.
And it's very specific, I want to point it out. The way she says, like, tell Graham, as if she's already checked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not there. Like, and even in her eyes, it looks kind of weird because we do see kind of like white in her eyes at this point. Which, yeah, like you said, she's not there anymore, dude.
So who is this message coming from?
That's right. The aliens, man.
The gods.
Oh, that's true. Our actual deities.
Okay, moving on. Next message.
Different topic. He's like, and you tell Merle to swing away.
And in that, the last breath.
We get flashbacks of the scene that they were talking to each other, and at this point, you hear the music in the background.
Like, what kind of... Are you a person that sees miracles? Or a person that just believes they get lucky?
Is it possible that there's no coincidences? Oof, there's no signs too, guys. And then he comes back. It comes back to where they're actually what? It comes back to the climax of the movie. He's looking at the tears in his eyes. He's looking at the alien, clicking and chattering away. The camera starts moving and he's seeing. Graham is seeing around the living room, and he sees the bat next to Merle. Next to Merle, behind his brother. The record-winning bat, by the way.
507 feet.
He's looking at it. He looks back at the alien. Merle. No, he says, swing away, Merle. Merle's like, what? Merle. Swing away. It clicks on Merle's head. It's like, my bat.
Yeah, he looks behind him. He gets the bat off the shelf.
This is it. This is the climax of the movie. He gets the bat. Alien sees it. And then I'm sure the alien...
understanding what's happening.
Yeah, I'm sure the alien saw that at 507 feet in the wall. He's like, fuck this shit. And then he throws the poison into Morgan's... He throws the poison into Morgan's nose.
And Bo screams.
Merle comes
The
charging at
alien
him.
camouflages Bo in his back, her screaming, and every time that happens, I get fucking goosebumps.
We get Merle. He charges at him. He swings. He's literally swinging away. So he hits him. He hits him again, and then the alien falls. He falls to like a
He
counter.
drops the kid.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
drops the kid. That's right. Fucking, they pick him up. They save him, and then alien falls. He hits one of the countertops, and one of the cups of water falls on him, and it looked like acid, dude.
Yeah.
It looked like acid because we see his actual skin come off, and we just see red and all this shit under. Alien kind of moves to the side.
And now we got Graham picking up Morgan, taking Bo and him outside. Bo looking back into the house through the broken windows. You see
This
Merle.
fucking standoff.
Yeah, just the way he tees up the bat to hit the water cups towards the alien. The alien hisses and screeches.
Yeah, and the camera is going back and forth. They inject Morgan in the leg.
With epinephrine pen.
Boom, done. The camera swings back. We get the last swing that we see Arrow swinging at 508 feet now, ladies and gentlemen. And
We
he
got
fucking,
point of view of the alien falling back
Back.
and the water splashing on him.
Mm-hmm.
the song gets a little bit more calm. Kind of like a finale kind of deal, you
Yeah.
know,
You
because
see
this
the-
is where we're at.
You see the bat's been broken.
They show the TV, and you see the reflection of the alien, how he's breathing, struggling, and then he just stops.
Cameron goes outside. Meryl, victorious, comes outside and he's looking at what's happening.
And Graham says that's why he had asthma.
Yeah.
His airways weren't open. It can't be luck.
His lungs were closed.
His lungs were closed. No poison got in. No poison got in.
Joaquin starts tearing up.
He's just repeating these words. His lungs were closed. Don't touch him. Give him a minute when Merle touches him. So he pulls away and Merle just starts crying. Graham, give him a second. He just like earlier in the movie, he just keeps on.
Bo's
not touch him.
crying, Daddy, and
Do not touch him. His airways was closed. He's gonna be okay. Please, don't. And he's not looking at his son anymore.
He's crying.
He's crying. He just closes his eyes.
And we hear Dad.
From Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
And we get slow-mo, everyone reacting, everyone with relief and shock in their eyes. And then Graham looking down at his son. Did someone save me? And wiping away the tears from his eyes. And yeah, baby, I think someone did.
Faith restored.
Yeah.
I think the movie could have just ended right there.
Yeah,
Honestly.
exactly. Added those 2 deleted scenes that were just like 50 seconds. I don't know how
Honestly,
long.
dude.
But now
And
we see
no.
the family from the point of view of the house through a broken window. The camera panning into the room where everything's destroyed, then pans further as if it was
Everything,
restored.
yeah.
And we see snow on the outside of the house.
Time has passed.
Time has passed. And we see Graham's character in the bathroom getting ready like earlier in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually putting on his Reverend uniform again.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear chatter in the house, just
Yeah.
noises of a
Yeah,
busy house. Like
Busy
everything's
house. More. I feel like it's more of a happy home now.
Yeah, a happy environment.
Yeah, it's a happy environment. Everything's great.
I see it as back to normal.
Yeah.
Right? Like not even the normal that we started the movie in, because they were still.
Yeah, they were grieving.
They were
that was a
grieving.
grieving family.
But his faith is restored. The family's back together,
Everything happens for a reason.
and the movie's over. Any final thoughts, guys?
Just saying, I don't think that was actually poison. I think it was more of a paralysis kind of deal. Because I mean, they did say they were there to harvest them. Why would you kill something that you're about to
Well, we
harvest?
didn't get to see what the poison actually did to people.
That's true.
So we only have the stories on the radio.
Yeah.
Would love to see a Science 2, maybe get some flashbacks of other people experiencing the alien attack.
Coincidences.
Yeah, Science 2 : coincidences.
Damn, with the other McCulkin brother.
with the one from Home Alone or the one from Scott Pilgrim?
They got from Scott. That's this guy.
No.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
the
right.
one from Scream 4.
There, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the one from Scott Pilgrim. That guy was fucking hilarious.
Before we finish this, I just want to look something up real quick.
Yeah.
You guys have some? Yeah. go
When
ahead.
I was little, I remember seeing the ending, and when he put the poison gas, my mind being super innocent and thinking everyone's really good, I thought the gas helped him with his asthma.
You know what? You say that, you bring that up. I think I thought the same thing. It didn't click in my mind that he had asthma.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah.
Honestly, probably what the alien was probably doing. He wasn't even arguing. He was like, "I'll cure your child. Please save me. I'll cure your child. Help me. They abandoned me."
and we'll never know because we don't understand.
And they killed his ass.
Dude, yeah.
All right. Well, at this point, this fictional land, they have survived an alien invasion, at least the first wave.
That's true. They did say that we're gonna lose and come back like in 1,000 years with the whole armada.
So this movie came out in 2002. Just gotta wait till 3002 to see the next movie.
It's a good thing I won't be here. Shit.
Again, thank you guys for listening. I want to also thank the people that made this movie, directed by, and also produced and written by M. Night Shyamalan.
Damn, the money's.
You got the music made by James Newton Howard,
Awesome music.
of course, starring Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix. And I guess we haven't done this before, but I want to bring up how much money this movie made. The budget, so this is the amount of money they used to make the movie. It was $72 million to make it.
Okay.
It pulled $480 and $8.2 million in the box
Fuck
office.
yeah, great
That's not even.
movie.
That's not even DVD sales. That's none of the fucking product place. Imagine.
It's just yeah.
I mean, shit, and I'm pretty sure like 10 million were for the cast.
Yeah. Produced by
Definitely.
Touchstone, Blinding Edge Pictures, Kennedy/Marshall Company, and distributed by Buena Vista Pictures. You can cut that out if you want. I don't care.
Okay, well, shit, guys. That's pretty much it. My name is Albert Perez,
I'm Lety.
And this was Carlos.
and we'll catch you guys next time from
From
the
the
far
far
side of the moon.